Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? All the blessed people out there in the world. It's your boy Cino. You already know. Hit the like button coming through the door. You know, this gonna debut on the Patreon first. So, you're watching it on the Patreon. You guys have got it first. Now, here's some details that many of you did not know. The Iron Man, Tony Stark. I beat Ghostface, serving up marvelous track. Ghostface Killer, better known as Tony Stark, the Iron Man. And in the first Iron Man movie, you see him posted up as Iron Man. Tony Stark's rapping on the plane as Jon Favreau wanted to pay respects to Ghostface for holding down the Iron Man name for all those years. Because if it wasn't for Ghostface, there will be no Marvel Universe. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So my Cash App is Carcino. And thank you guys who've been supporting the Cash App. You guys are the reason why we keep coming up and making all these fabulous videos for you guys and giving all the information. You guys keep the boat moving. I appreciate that. So without further ado, hit the like button if you're new. Subscribe to the page. And if you didn't happen to know about the Patreon, definitely check it out. It's what's happening right now. So naturally, we get to the juice. We get to the details. Now, in 1996, the Iron Man comic books, the sales were slow. Marvel was pivoting as it didn't know what it was going to do with its company or its brand. At this time, superhero movies were not thought about, they were dreamed about, but no one really had the budget to put forth superhero movies and content. When Wu-Tang hit in '93, there was such a phenomenon that in 1996, in 3 years, Wu-Tang was one of the largest things worldwide as far as a brand. The logo was the biggest logo in hip-hop probably. That Wu-Tang bird could be shown anywhere and everybody knew exactly what it stood for. And the fact that every individual Wu-Tang member had their own individual logo. Old Dirty had his, Raekwon had his, and I think Ghostface had his as well. I can't really remember Ghost off the top of my head. But Meth had his was the Wu symbol upside down. So it was a constant that it kept changing to symbolize everyone's identity. And animated features and opportunities outside of music that was generated from the music. All of these avenues and these doors opened up. So when you saw the RZA with his production and everything, he was being brought on to do sound work for a couple of animated shorts for the anime Japanese films, like the people who made, I think, manga. Okay, there it is, manga. And a company that was doing anime in Japan. So after the Iron Man CD was out, In 1997, they're working on the Wu-Tang second album. The RZA went out to Japan because he's working on some other project, a story, a Japanese story theme for his album that was going to come out. And it's called Tragedy. And it's filmed in Japan. And it's like a Japanese samurai love story, which they wanted to make into an animated series. Now, the people at Manga was talking about Marvel doing some animated features, sort of like they did Batman with the Batman films. Marvel wanted to go into the animated films using Iron Man and other characters, but they wanted Wu-Tang music and more modern rap and hip-hop in there. And since Ghostface was Iron Man, this was appealing to them, to have RZA come in and do this play. Now, they were saying, the RZA was pitching that it would be great to have Tony Stark, which is Ghostface, actually do the voice for Tony Stark in the animated cartoon. And to me, that would have been funny. Man, I smack fire at your mouth, man. Talking to me like that, I'm Supreme Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who they gonna have? They gonna have Raekwon come in as War Machine? Yeah, War Machine and all that, right? I just found this idea to be funny and ludicrous, and I would have loved to see it, and I would have had every damn episode. Oh, Dirt Double, man, where the shit at, man? Man, the spaghetti head, potato nose having. Yo, man, get your big avions off the table, man. Dirt Double, I know you blind and all that, man, but look, you gotta watch yourself up in here, man. Watch that stick. Oh, man. Man, the Avengers want to assemble and team up. Yo, I ain't teaming up with nobody. Yo, they ain't from Staten Island or Park Hill. We ain't rocking with him. Word. That's what I'm saying and all that. I don't care what they talking. Credible Hulk. Nah, he gonna have to chill, son. Oh, man. That would be crazy. Crazy. Man, I'm over here cracking up laughing just thinking about it. Imagine how that would have came out to the rest of the world. So anyhow, this idea goes by and it gets bounced around for a minute. Then it dies on a vine because Ghostface ended up getting arrested. And it was in the newspaper. He got caught with guns and all that. So all of that was dead. They's like, okay, this another gangbangers, you know, the Wu-Tang, we were trying to see were they actually musicians. Now they're a bunch of gang members with microphones. So that's how the Marvel studio looked at it, and they went away from it. And it was ignored for years. Now, the Iron Man character has definitely throughout the years served as a testament of what goes right and what goes wrong when you put these elements together, as far as we want to do what's right as far as movie and cinema. Nobody cared about Iron Man. He was not the most popular character. In the comic books, in the radio, because they used to have radio broadcast shows, the radio broadcast show, it was better. Because you could use your imagination. And the fact that, you know, he was human. Everybody else had superpowers. It was his suit and his technology that made him stand out. But when Batman hit the theaters in '89 and did his run with Batman Begins and all of this stuff, DC was the home of all of the movies, with the Superman fading out and Batman kind of faded out. Marvel was thinking it was time to take their shot. Long story short, as years go by, the RZA became a main stickler when it came to movies as far as doing sound. He worked with Quentin Tarantino doing the Kill Bill soundtrack and using a lot of his sound and scores for the Boondocks. A lot of animated films and creators were using a lot of his music, so the RZA was back in play. Now, because the RZA is back in the mix, you have other things that are taking place, other elements that are transpiring with Marvel. Marvel is seriously thinking about now making a superhero movie, and it's the Incredible Hulk. And they wanted the RZA to be a part of this. They started off with Ang Lee, who worked with the RZA before, who worked with John Woo, and they wanted John Woo to direct it, but that didn't happen. John Woo and the RZA became popular because they were fans of John Woo, with John Woo's album was the motivation behind Raekwon's album, Cuban Links, and they are always talking about it. The Killer is one of their favorite movies with John Woo, and RZA has sampled John Woo a lot. So John Woo was scheduled and interviewed to make the movie The Hulk. But it ended up going to Ang Lee, who got critical acclaim because of another film he did. And everyone thought he was this genius with Brokeback Mountain and everything else that came out. So Ang Lee became the it director to have on a project. So they chose him instead of John Woo, who was going to bring the RZA on to help out with the soundtrack for the Hulk. Now, let's fast forward. In a last-ditch project, the Hulk made money, but it didn't do what they thought it was going to do. But they did great for what the budget they had. Ang Lee really didn't know anything about directing a comic book movie. And he didn't really know what they wanted, so he just made a love story. And a story about father and son. Nick Nolte did an outstanding job as David Banner. I thought it was a great movie. It was a good movie. It's just that it wasn't a payoff with the scenes at the end, and how climactic it ended. And it just was missing something. Now, the second movie, which had Abomination in it, was more grounded into a comic book, Incredible Hulk, where they were getting ready to steer people to going down that avenue. But before that, you got the Iron Man. Iron Man. So Iron Man comes along and sets the tone, everything ablaze. Now Iron Man comes out. Jon Favreau, who's good friends with the RZA as well, knew Tony Stark was supposed to play this, and RZA reminded him, "Hey, yo, my man, yeah, they brought this to us a long time ago. It's going to be an animated film. My man, he goes by the name Tony Stark's Iron Man, Ghostface, He was like, yeah, I'm familiar with Ghostface. He was like, yeah, man, he was gonna be Iron Man. He was gonna do the voice, but you know, Marvel shut it down and all that. You know, politics and bullshit. So Favreau said, well, we got a scene on the plane. I'm gonna give him a cameo in the movie. You know, let him, you know, be the cameo. So the studio wasn't gonna allow Ghostface to be in the movie. They weren't going to hire him. So what Favreau was able to do was have them play a Ghostface video, music video, in the background while they were on the plane. It's one of the music selections on there to pay homage to Tony Stark's Ghostface. But if it wasn't for Ghostface keeping Iron Man out there, Tony Stark's brothers would not have really paid no attention to Iron Man. Yo, I'm Iron Man, no decast metal, I'm still alloy, true identity hidden inside secret tabloids. I'm like, man, he is Iron Man. That's Tony Stark, brother Stark. He embodied that. He took that character, Iron Man, and made it something. There would not have been a Marvel universe without Iron Man. Tony Stark's Ghostface. Ghostface helped make that a reality. I'm not taking no credit away from the actors and with the work they put in to make the film work, because the film has to work, period. But you wouldn't have gotten to film anything if the Iron Man name wasn't already hot on the streets because of Ghostface. So let that be known. So you can check that for data. Want to say again, hit the like button, support the page, hit that like button. If you got a social media platform, share it. Share the video there so they can see it, they can know what's up. And by all means, you want to support, hit the Cash App up. Carceno's the name, K-A-R-C-E-N-O. Now you know. And by all means, definitely subscribe. We out.